Hi, crafty friends. This is Amanda. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Michigan. Welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for being here. Today we're going to be playing with the Turtle Friends bundle. This piece of DSP from Pattern Party, which is a host-only DSP on page 171 if you missed it. And we're also going to be playing with the basic border dies, which you can find on page 162. They're $29. We're going to be cutting this piece of DSP, which looks like half shells or shells, these half circles. They look like shells, right? Just go with the flow. Say yes. We're going to be cutting this at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 because we're going to be lining a 5x7 card. Now, I want these so that they have the circles the same way. I mean, they all have to go horizontal. One can't be vertical. It's just not appropriate for this card. And so you are left with a pretty, there's not much of this DSP left. So I'm going to be cheap and I'm going to cut out the middle because I'm sure I could use the middle for other things. Now, if you're not comfortable doing this, just use a rectangle die and cut it out in the middle. But, I've been thrifty for a long time, so I'm used to doing this. Now, we're going to be making a scene card. We're going to be using Night of Navy and Mango Melody for the card bases. Sorry, lost my train of thought. I'm going to be using this Cinnamon Cider and Granny Apple Green for the scene. I could not find a way to bring in this Pale Papaya, but, I was thinking of it. And then, of course, some Balmy Blue for the sky. I'm also going to be needing some Granny Apple Green blends and Granny Apple Green stamp pad. All right, we're going to be making two cards because, a variation. We're going to be cutting blah, blah, blah. Guys, I'm so sorry. But I've done this, this voiceover several times because people keep calling me. So I'm telling my family, stop calling. All right. So I'm not redoing it. So we're going to be cutting this as a 5x7 base, which means you take 1.5 inches off the 8.5 inch side and 1 inch off the 11 inch side, and you score it in half at 5 inches. Easy peasy. I don't have to bring out my arm, and I have to have my trimmer a certain way. That's why you saw me look at it going, what am I going to do with this? And then turn it around because it has to be the same way. I wonder if you guys are like that. Now, because I'm me, I'm going to be building my scene before I finish my card, which you should always cut out all of your elements and then finish the scene. But you know what? It was not in the cards yesterday. So therefore, yes. Anyways, you'll see some of the mistakes, or not mistakes, but some of the things that I should have done at a different time. All right, I'm going to be cutting this piece at 4 by 6. Now I do cut this at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, but then I realized I wanted a border around this. Now all of my dies are 6 inches long, so that means I have to create a 4 by 6 card. But I want to make a 5 by 7, so that's why I'm putting some DSP down here. It looks like I'm putting a scene in a scene, or a scene in some DSP. Anyways, I did not want to make a 4 by 6 card. I wanted to make a 5 by 7 card. So this is how I'm doing it. So as you will see, I am going to use some adhesive and put down my elements here, but not the Balmy Blue. I'll wait for the Balmy Blue. But I have my DSP down and then my sheet of Night of Navy down. Now, I also have 2 pieces of Whisper White here that are just scraps, and I'll need those for my little turtles, but I only need 1. Now I'm cutting this Cinnamon Cider, I think I said. Now I did try other browns, and Cinnamon Cider was the closest brown that I could get. I'm going to be cutting this eventually by 6 inches by 3.5, and I could use this 3.5 each piece to get 2 done. So that works perfectly. So I'm cutting this at 6 inches because it actually doesn't cut off the edges. It just it doesn't have an edge piece. It just cuts. So I needed to make this strategically 6 inches because that's the size of my inner seam. Now, I do use a piece of purple tape with this because it was moving and it was driving me nuts. So purple tape. I also am cutting a piece of Granny Apple Green. I found somewhere in my stash some grass, and I needed some grass for the scene. You don't have to. You could just have a little hill if you chose to, but I like the grass because, I think it just adds a little bit of layer. Now, right here, I should have grabbed my little dauber and made the grass, pretty with a different color green. But I do that after everything's assembled because I'm assembling rather than, doing smart things. So instead of using my adhesive on my silicone mat here, I actually put my adhesive on the piece of paper on my glass mat, and the adhesive sticks to my glass mat just perfectly fine. It doesn't on the silicone mat, so that's why you do all of your gluing on your silicone mat. And now I have a piece of sticky on my glass mat, which is annoying, and so it will remind me to actually use my silicone mat. That's what it's there for. But, Oh, weird. Okay, fine. So now, because I'm using my Tombow Mono, I'm going to be using the teeny tiniest amount of glue that I can because it stays sticky and it's shiny when it's, when it dries. So I don't want anything to ooze out. So here's my little grass. Yeah, it's big, and that's okay for the scene because, I have a huge turtle. And so all will be well. Right? So I have 2 little scenes. Again, I probably should have, spruced up the ground, maybe with some rocks or something like that. Maybe use, I think we have a cinnamon cider blend, or if not, just the marker and, make some dots on it. But instead, I adhered it down. So you understand, I was excited to make this scene. I haven't made a scene in a really long time. I will stamp out my little turtles. They're so cute. In Granny Apple Green, and then I need some eyes. So the big eye is going to be Granny Apple Green. And it's stuck because my little lever at the bottom was in the wrong spot. Does that ever happen to you guys? And then you can't close it all the way, and then when you do close it, then your little lever at the bottom flies out. Well, that happens to me. Just put it back in, and actually put it in the right spot, which is up. And then it will let you do it. Well, I don't do that. That would be foolish. So I just let it pop out again. Okay. So I also need to cut an extra eye. So what I do is I cut 2 of the big circles, 1 in Granny Apple Green, 1 in white. Now you could do just both in Granny Apple Green, but so that I can layer. So there's 2 pieces of big eye there. And then 1 little circle. 1 little circle, 2 big circles, and then I stack them on top. Now, I couldn't find my take your pick tool. I couldn't find my Crystal Catania. I couldn't find my off-brand Crystal Catania. I couldn't find anything except for my fingers to put these 2 together. And I used too much glue because I didn't want to stop and get the little precision tip glue. So there's glue all over this thing. So, but you know what? It's fun. I do use a gel pen, and I think this is almost like a glazed pen. It's so awesome. And I make several dots for the eyes. Now, in hindsight, googly eyes is appropriate, I think, because googly eyes instead of everything. Maybe, no, googly eyes. And I think I'll probably pick some up later. Now, I'm going to take some which kind? Is it garden green? Yes, some garden green, because I thought that I could use a dauber here after I stamped this. I stamped this in Granny Apple Green, and then I thought I could just kind of do the edges. Well, this is a flat stamp, so there's no edges, really. So most of this is just garden green, and it looks pretty great. I think it looks fun. It's, fun. I did color it with my blends, and I tried to do some shading around the eyes where I got too much glue. The blends didn't work too well, but it's fun. It could have been better if I would have used a precision tip, but you know what? Live and learn. So if you have a precision tip, use it. Don't be too excited not to. So my little guys are done, and I'm almost done with this card, right? Now I just need a top. So I take some Whisper White. Oh, no, that's not true. Basic White. And I cut it again at 6 inches. And I take out this border die. So I use 2 of these dies on this border die. I'm so happy that I actually saw this in the catalog because it really wasn't, announced on page 162. And then I'm going to cut a little sliver of sky. Now, I could have made it, taller, the clouds taller, but, it's just too close to the turtle. So I made just the tiniest little sliver, and I think it adds something to it, right? It certainly doesn't take away from anything, right? But if you would have made it even like, a half an inch wider, then yeah. Okay, so here I'm going to cut the sky out of Granny Apple Green. Yep, I'm going to cut it on an angle here, just like that, from corner to corner. Probably in hindsight should have done a little bit smaller, but what are you going to do? And can you guys see it? Can you see the tree? Let's see if you see it now. Do you see the tree? Yes, it's a cute tree, right? But it really needed a bark, a base, a trunk. That's what they're called. Now here I'm taking my dauber and going, yeah, that grass really needed some shading, and the hill really needs some. Yeah. Oh well. You know what? Take my advice. Don't stick all of your pieces when you're doing a card like this together until you have everything done. Don't glue everything, because then you might, realize that you want to shade some stuff. Now I am going to add some of these. Ooh, what are these called? Strips. Adhesive strips? No, that can't be right. Foam strips. That's better. And I'm going to make this tall because, why not? Got to pop up my turtle too. So I do these strips because it's so much easier. But then I realized that these strips are twice the size of the thickness of the regular dimensionals. So I just add a top one. I take off the little sticky and I add another one right on top. It works pretty well. And you know what? What's a few dimensionals? They're cheap. So I add this so it can go through the mail really well, right? Because there's no way this thing is going to cave in now. It wouldn't dare, right? And then I'll just pop that up at the top. Now you could add your greeting on the clouds if you chose to make your clouds a little bit wider, right? Not whiter, but wider. Yeah, that didn't sound right. And then I'll pop up my cute little, what do I want to call those? Leaves? Grass top? No, that's not it. Tree topper? A tree top, maybe. Now, you could use one of those trees from any number of trees that we have in our catalog, but it's not going to be as cutesy. You know what I mean? Those are too realistic. We have to do cutesy. So we're going to use this new embossing folder. And no, I didn't get the name of it because I'm sorry. I just forgot to get the name of it. Oh, I think it's in the new catalog. Uh-oh. No, it's not in the new catalog, is it? I don't know where it's at. I'll find it for you guys and tell you the price. I'm sure it's $10. And I run it through. I do cut this by a little bit less than 4 inches because, we need it. And it is in the brand new mini catalog. It's on page 37, and it is called Timber 3D Embossing Folder. Sorry, friends. Should have had that. And I tuck it behind. Luckily, I didn't do a very good job of... So you see, put everything... Don't wait to build your scene is the moral of the story. Now, I could have, cut this a little bit funky. I could have, but it still wouldn't have been as cutesy. I don't want anything too realistic here. I mean, it's a turtle. For heaven's sakes, a cute little turtle. And I'm telling you, those turtles aren't that cute. Only cutesy turtles are cute. So, yeah. I'll pop this up here. And I have 2 different cards. One with some clouds and one with a tree. Which one do you like better? Do you think the cinnamon cider and the evening evergreen? No, that's not right. Early espresso. Sorry about that, friends. Do you think they're okay? You know what I mean? Together? Do they clash? Do they look okay? If you notice, I don't actually have a greeting on this one. And that would have probably been a good idea too, to put the greeting on, because what if I mess up the greeting? I mean, that would have been unfortunate. I do pick out the greeting. You are turtly loved. So cute. So now I call this stamp set in my head Turtle Love. Why wouldn't you? But it's actually called Turtle Friends. And I'll just release this release paper, and stick it on there. So is it okay? What do you think? It does need a sentiment. Like I said, I'll get to it in just a second. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm enjoying, and I'm not enjoying, I'm lying to you. I was going to say I'm enjoying the rain because that makes me craft more, but I don't like the rain. It gives me headaches. And it's never very sunny when it rains. I'm just telling you, we should probably fix that. I'm going to put a sentiment here, like I said, in the sky. I wish I knew where else would it be better to do? I mean, yes, maybe on the clouds, but I don't know. If you are not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by my 1-year mark. I can't believe I've been doing it this long. I'm pretty proud of myself. But if you are not subscribed, I'd love it if you subscribe. And, ask your friends, daughters, brothers, uncles, aunts, and everyone else to subscribe. I just need 250 more. That doesn't sound that bad, but in 1 month, it sounds pretty bad. Ugh. Now, I will stamp this in Night of Navy. Here I'm thinking, you shouldn't have put this card together. Well, I've thought that the entire time. The only thing that I would add here is googly eyes. And what about embellishments? I didn't put any embellishments on, but what do you think? You think it needs it? Other than, the grass a little bit shading and the rocks on the hill or wherever he's walking. You think it needs some bling or some Winkastella? Anything? I don't put anything. Because, who knows who I'm giving this to? Maybe they're not bling people. Let me know what you think. I really appreciate time. You guys have a fabulous day. Thanks so much. I love chit-chatting with you. Hope to hear your comments.